oversight on counselors, which is why the previous government was bringing in regulatory system for counselors, psychologists, things like that. It's in their code of ethics now that they cannot provide it, which I think is great. And then, of course, probably one of the more obvious ones is religious communities can often provide conversion therapy as well.
Oh.
And that's based, again, in that viewpoint that being a member of the queer community is sinful or something that has to change. I hope that answered your question, Randy, and if you had any follow-ups to that, feel free.
Yeah, that was a really good question. Do we have any more kicking around on there?
I don't see any other questions.
No more?
Not yet, no.
Yeah.
But we do have the delay, so, let's keep
Yeah.
in mind when you
Yeah,
drop
we
the
do.
question, there's probably about a 50-second delay before I'll see it.
Will a doctor do the therapy? Not supposed to, and to my knowledge, no professional doctor in Canada does. Once again, it comes down to ethics, to codes of conduct, and it's more those fringe counselors and things like that may not be governed by that, or
Okay.
religious institutions and things of that nature.
Awesome. So I just want to do another shout out. This is Sapa Speaks, the voice of the Southern Alberta Pagan Association, coming to you live from the Jess FM studios in Southern Alberta. You can find all the shows that Jess FM produces on Facebook, Jess TV and jessfm.ca, as well as YouTube and Twitch. And we are talking conversion therapy tonight with Devin Hargraves.
I'll go back to that last question. I
Which
should
one?
specify, would a doctor provide it? Not a medical doctor would not be supposed to.
Okay.
There's some individuals that have doctor in front of their names because they have a doctorate that either do or would border on providing that
Okay.
therapy. But it's very different things. You can have a doctorate of theology or a doctorate of medicine. So
That is true.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yes. So one of the our Sapa family is very orientated towards self-care. So one thing we usually try to ask all our guests is, what do you do for self-care?
This wasn't in the pre-questions.
Surprise!
I'm a big fan of live music. Obviously, right now that's not such a thing. I just found out the Owl does on Friday and Saturday nights live music on the patio. They've extended the patio, so now it goes out into the street.
I think I saw that earlier.
Yeah, and they have a little stage set up right outside the door.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
might have to go back and check that out.
Yeah.
But other than that, music, that's how I relax, is listening to music usually.
Very nice.
And how often do we partake in self-care?
When we have time.
When we make time. Yeah. So I'm actually officially all out of questions.
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit more about what your group does? We've got a little bit of time.
Well, we are Southern Alberta Pagan Association, and what we try to do is create a safe space for pagans of all flavors to come together, talk, get to know others, learn from each other, and it's just a safe space so that we can be ourselves. Did I miss anything? She's got that look like I missed something.
Something thrown at you.
So, and again, our viewers can't see me. I am off air, but I
Off screen, not off air.
Yeah, that's
Liv usually is the one that does the word thing,
sometimes.
the flowery word thing. Sometimes
but
words
I am
don't
a
work.
chairperson of the Southern Alberta Pagan Association, and I mean, I do agree with you. We do try to create that space where people can be themselves. However, especially in kind of today's society, witchcraft and paganism and Wiccanism, we're just getting more of that attention. That it's not a safe space to be yourself, it's more of a brave space, because it takes a lot of bravery for somebody to step out of the broom closet And Devin being the co-chair of YQRL, I'm sure that you could probably agree when it comes to people coming out of the closet and the queer community. It takes a lot of bravery, it takes a lot of courage. So I would even challenge the safe space and say we're a brave space. We are that space where, you know, you have the freedom to be brave. However, by doing that, it's not always safe because it's scary as hell.
That is true, but the majority of us are accepting of everyone.
Yes.
So, I mean, I know me personally, I don't judge anyone. I mean, if we're of different paths, let's sit down and grab a coffee or a beer and talk about our differences, because that's usually where we find out where we're similar.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming in.
I don't usually get this long to just talk. So.
I know.
And you didn't even take the full hour.
I literally don't know what to do with myself at this point.
Devin, what can the Southern Alberta Pagan Association as an organization do to support YQRL and the move to ban conversion therapy?
Continue bringing visibility to it through social media and statements of support, as well as reaching out to council directly.
Okay.
Randy, if you're in Lethbridge, there's quite a few great resources. Once again, I will have to preclude everything with this interesting time that we're living in has put a damper on a lot of things. But Outreach, Southern Alberta, did have a trans support group. I know if I say Club Dee Dee, you're going to yell at me.
I am.
Dee Dee's Playhouse
There you go.
is a great local queer space, and if you were to message their page, I'm sure that they would be happy to meet with you and